we go. Taking a trip up to Lone Wolf, to the Lone Wolf Blues Company. You're gonna see Randy Landry, and we're gonna take a look at the shop and see some beautiful sights of Louisiana along the way.
Livewire, your calendar of live music events for Saturday, July 6th, sponsored by Blue Plate Mayonnaise. A po' boy without it is just a sandwich.
This dude. This is Randy here. This is the office. How long have you had this place, Randy?
Oh, that's a good question. Time flies by. Maybe 7, 8 years.
All our friends. One of the reasons I came up here today was to fix this mic. This is one of Randy's tester mics. So this was the design that we came up with. So we wanted to do a little flare on the end of it right there so that it was easy to hold like that. And that's the one thing that most people really like about it.
I come up with a shower head. Jason said, no, can we make it a little nicer than that?
I liked the shower head, but everybody else was like, it looks like a shower head. And they started calling it that. So like, which could have worked for us later, but I don't know. This looks pretty slick. I think it sounds better for harmonica than a 57. And then of course there's no handling noise and it's easy to hold. And it's just been a godsend for me and for lots of players now really like it. It's crazy to see so many people with it, right?
Oh yeah, we're really moving a lot of microphones nowadays.
I've had harmonica players like that didn't know who I was, right? Like go, oh, have you seen this mic? I'm like, no, let me just tell me about it. Yeah. And then we do lots of colors here. Or Randy does lots of colors.
If you look in my office, toward the wall, on the bottom, you'll see a whole bunch of custom colors that I have already painted for people.
All right, let me check it.
Whenever we do one custom color, we always do two. So we actually have a few on hand.
Holy cats. Those are all sold though, right?
No, they're not sold.
Oh man, so people can buy these right now?
Yeah. So normally there's a 2-week wait, but whenever I have to do one, like I said, I make another one and it sits on the shelf for somebody orders.
Holy cats. So www.lonewolfblues.com. Right there. No waiting list on these. These are all the different colors. There you go, Brian. There's that's pretty coppery. There's a hot pink. That's pretty cool. Look at that. Look at that green, what do you call that? A teal swan flavor?
Crystal mics. And it does that really good.
The Terminator.
You talk about, it'll take a freaking crystal mic and it'll sound like you ain't never heard before. And then I decided to give it an extra feature as a splitter, a buffered splitter, so that you can run 2 outputs. But really it's designed to benefit, and it does help CM elements too. But it really shines with crystal elements.
Wow, cool. That's why I didn't know about it, because I never use those.
Yeah, most people don't use crystal elements. So.
I wonder if Dennis has ever tried one.
Yeah, he's used one.
Do you like it?
Yep. I think he switched over to the Tone Plus now. It also uses a high impedance input. Some Voyo or Voyo, whatever.
Oh yes, yeah, Goyo Sound or whatever.
Try calling them and ask them the best way to line up your pedals.
Right, I have a video on that. I have a pedal order video, but we don't always agree on the pedal order, right? But I'm the first one to say, try it a few ways, right?
Sure. I mean, there's technical reasons why you want them a certain order, but it ain't like it won't work if you use it in a different order. And if you find some magical tone that just gets you all excited, well then you freaking go with it. That's your board, that's your pedals.
So this is where you do all your work.
Yeah.
And I don't think people really realize how much of the work that you do.
Well, nowadays I don't do as much building, very little building, but I do a lot of troubleshooting and fine tuning stuff. Everything that my builder makes for me. My builder Steve lives in Brookhaven, and I'll go up, once every other week and pick up the pedals from him, and I'll take them and I'll check them. Yeah, that's a box from Steve right there, and I go through them and double check them and set the potentiometers in them and balance them and box them up.
It's awesome.
And get orders out every morning and do any necessary repairs.
How'd you get the idea, Randy, to start Lone Wolf?
Well, to start the business, I mean, I was the kind of person always in the back of my mind said, I wish I could do something to make extra money. Then when I made this and got such good response from people, I said, well, why not do this? At the time, it was just a harp delay. I could make this at home in my garage and sell it and make some extra money.
Still have that delay in the drawer?
Oh yeah, first one I ever sold.
Oh, it's here, right here?
Yeah, the first one I ever sold, my first customer was Ryan Harp.
Yeah, from Connecticut.
Yep.
Dude, that is good.
He sent it to me after 15 years. He sent it to me last year for repair after 15 years. And I kept it and sent him a new one.
Wow.
But anyway, I said, well, maybe I can make one or two more pedals. And then I made the Tone Plus and the Octave and the Break. It just kept growing. I just grew with it.
Everything is right here in Ponchatoula.
Just a little town, just typical small town American.
So how old is Lone Wolf altogether?
In the fall of 2007 is when I sold my first pedal.
You did a lot of hands-on stuff. I mean, like when you found me, I was playing on the street out in front of the racetrack here during Jazz Fest.
Yeah. Instead of you should have been headlining.
Well, this year I got to play. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I met you, and by then we already had a good bunch of pedals. And
One of the things that I did with those first pedals is I Velcroed them all to a skateboard, and
I forgot about the skateboard.
Yeah, and I used that because a lot of times, like during Mardi Gras, right, you have multiple gigs, that are in walking distance of each other, but you can't bring an amp, right, and move around during Mardi Gras, right? You can, but it's not advisable, right?
No.
So I would just take that and I would plug right into the board because I had the Harp Attack, and with the XLR out, right, and would run right into the board, and the sound guys were always like, wow, like, and so was I. I was like, because that was the first time I had ever run a board straight to the PA, and I still keep a little red on the board in case something ever happens with the amp. I know, or when I go to Europe and stuff.
Yeah, it's a great backup. It is. I mean, you got the pedals anyway. Why not have that little DI? It's better. It's
Right.
better for the sound guy and everything to use a DI.
Totally. I did it before 2007, in Europe a couple of times because the amps were so bad. Little solid state, practice amps.
That's what solid state practice amps to play with. Huh?
Yeah, like Gorilla, was one of the brands that we
Oh my goodness.
It was rough. We'd be at the gig and we'd be on stage going, we didn't know how we were going to get to the next gig in Europe. And we'd be like, if anybody can understand us right now, we need a ride tomorrow to France. We'll pay you, you know. Yeah.
Dang.
Those were the early days. But pedals have changed a lot of that, right? Like there's more and more people that are not even using amps and are just running pedals straight to the board or something.
I mean, nobody likes to carry a 80-pound amp around, so it's definitely a great thing to consider.
I'm laughing because I carry a 45-pound pedal board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can grow into that, can't it?
Pedal Pad, the company that makes the wooden board that I use, was bought by two brothers, and they're super nice. And they contacted me on Instagram and sent me pictures of receipts that they had sold. And you know, when they sell stuff online, they ask, "How'd you hear about us?" And there were like 6 or 7 of them that said Jason Ricci, and he wrote, "This is just from."
Really good.
He's like, "This is just from this week. What do you need?" And I'm like, "My board is still perfect." And they're like, "We're building you one anyway." So pretty soon we're gonna have a video coming up of those guys, and they're super cool. They're like you. They're like, "We just appreciate you and thank you." So
yeah, that's small business though. That's when you deal with somebody, a small businessman, you can get that kind of attention.
well, that's the reason I really wanted to make this video today, is because I just wanted people to see, like, that it's not just some factory, or that we're not ordering these things from China and putting our own name on them, and you know, whether they work or good for harmonica or not.
Yeah.
You know, it's every single thing is thought about and touched and handled and considered, and you know, the cut from the color of the paint to the soldering to the design to like whose wife drew the wolf. You know what I mean? Right.
Yeah. And along with that, yeah, you're gonna pay more than you are for a factory-made pedal, but you'll never get the service. I mean, right now, I'm offering a 10-year warranty on my pedals, and even at that point, I don't think I've ever once charged for a repair, and I've been selling them for 15 years. Generally, someone sends it in, I prioritize and get a repair out, usually within 2 days after I receive it.
That makes it really easy for me. Yeah. You know what I mean? To sell them.
Like, call me. I mean, I get calls every single day about, see there, I told you I was going to make a mistake.
I'm sorry. It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. Like, there's all these digital boards coming out, and amp modulars. You can buy a board that has like 120 effects or more, 1,000 effects. It has like 20 different kinds of delays, or 50 different kinds of delays, 50 different kinds of compression, 50 different kinds of distortion. And people always ask me, like, well, why don't you use those? So there's like a couple reasons, okay? First is if the whole board breaks, I'm done, right? Like, if the one pedal breaks, well, that's one pedal problem, right? But if the giant thing breaks, now I don't have anything, right? I don't have any of them. So that's one reason. The other reason that I always tell people is, like, with a delay pedal, like or any kind of pedal, you got, like, I always imagined it, and it's true a lot of times for some of the companies that I've bought stuff from, including you guys, is that there's like, not only is it kind of like a Matchbox car that has like colors, and this model came from this year, like look at the wolf is different on this one, or whatever, like, and then you can trade them too, right? Like you can send them or like lend your friend that pedal. Like you can't, like, well, I mean, maybe you could download like a digital imprint of something and mail it. I don't know, but like it's not the same. You can physically trade it. The other thing I always tell people is, with those digital boards that have 80 different delays, right? Yeah, sure, you got 80 different delays, but I got one delay that a marriage was ruined over, right? Like some guy was like in his garage, and his wife was like, "Are you coming in? When are you coming in?" And he's I got to get the perfect analog delay, right? Like, you can't beat that, you can't beat that kind of consideration. When I was a kid, and I still am, like, both a kid and still into skateboarding. I used to love, like, when they would go to the factories and show the skateboards getting made, and I think maybe some of the viewers are, like, interested in that. Clean cats, delays, low highs, mojo pads, boogeymans, choruses, harp tones, octaves, reverbs, breaks, alpha wool. This is all stuff you guys can buy at home right now. They will come. You don't have to wait. Right? Look how much stock there is. Look how many delays there are. Look how many low highs there are. Look how many of all of these there are. So you can order one of these today, and it'll be there in a few days, depending upon where you live. And we ship all over the world. Right here on YouTube. Subscribe today. Click the subscribe button for hundreds of free harmonica lessons. If you like what I'm putting down and you'd like to support the cause, go the extra mile, be sure to visit my Patreon page. Patreon patrons, thank you very much. You're making these lessons an absolute priority in my life. No matter how busy I get, a free lesson happens every Friday. For as low as $1 a month, that's 25 cents a lesson, you can become a Patreon patron. If you're doing a little better and you can donate more, that's great. Every time you become a Patreon patron, you're helping somebody else out there that doesn't have a credit card, that doesn't have $1 a month, to continue to get free harmonica instruction and much, much more. Remember, we got product reviews here on this channel. We do videos on addiction and bipolar disorder. We got blues stories. We got performance videos and everything right here on Jason Ricci's YouTube. Subscribe today. I'd like to thank Honer Harmonicas, and I'd like to thank Blue Moon Harmonicas, making custom parts for any harmonica that you might have at home. Blue Moon has got you. The Lone Wolf Blues Company, pedals, amplifiers, microphones, you name it, much more. Right here out of Louisiana, the Lone Wolf Blues Company is bringing you the best in customer service for almost any kind of amplified blues harmonica needs that you may have. Speaking of amplifiers, Harp Gear amplifiers, check them out. The very best Harp Gear, right out of Ocala, Florida. I got a website, www.mooncat.org. Check me out on mooncat.org. I got tour dates happening all over the place. I'm going all over the country this year, playing tour dates with J.J. Appleton, with Damon Fowler, with J.P. Soares, with my own band, with Joe Crown, all kinds of people. www.mooncat.org. T-shirts, lesson information, all of that. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. We do this every single Friday, and then every now and then I throw you some more stuff right here at Jason Ricci's YouTube. A Mooncat, love and appreciate all y'all. Thank you.